When I was 11 years old at Tekamah, Nebraska, my grandmother gave me my great-great-great-grandfather's pioneer journal. His name was Jesse Griffin. And at that time I was very inspired by the story of his life through his own writings. And he's always been sort of a hero to me. Not just because he was my great-great-great-grandfather, but because he was a man that really exemplified the Christian life and the kind of values, not just in relation to God, but in relationship to our fellow man, that I think we all ought to maybe think about. And so I've spent a lot of time in my life thinking about that story. And a few years ago, I found a letter in a book that he wrote in 1849 where he talked about his deep aspirations for coming to America, for coming to this place that he called Zion, for finding a homeland. And 7 years later, he was able to fulfill those aspirations. But what really inspired me to do this, when he wrote about his spiritual journey and the things that were important to him, I wanted to be able to experience that and share that with other people, and to learn about the kind of things that motivated him and his fellow saints as they were going across the plains. So for about the past 3 years, I've been writing and thinking about that story, largely based on that letter. And then I realized, after I'd gotten a lot of this writing done, that if I hadn't actually gone on the journey that they went on and done the things that they did, that there was going to be a lack in my understanding of what they went through in their experience, that I wasn't going to be able to communicate that to others in the way that I wanted to. So about a year ago, I drove down Highway 6 in my pickup truck and sort of scouted everything out, where everything was, and decided that a year later, after more research, that I was going to follow the original handcart trail. And that's pretty much the story of why I did this. It's because I think it's a story that's worth telling, a story that's worth sharing with others, and that can bring joy and inspiration to people through the things that those pioneers went through.